eastern coast. So we represent in many ways the diversity of India, and the reason we have come is very much to seek greater sympathy and understanding on the part of our friends. And also countries that are not necessarily our friends, but you are in the high friends category, for our situation in recent months, in particular the really, really serious attack on our country by terrorists in Kashmir, in a place called Pahalgam, on the 22nd of April. I must say that we saw the statement by Brazil. We were also very touched by President Lula telephoning our Prime Minister personally to express his concern and condolences. But as you know, in the couple of weeks that followed, absolutely no action was taken to bring the perpetrators to heel or even to look for them in Pakistan. We have identified 4 of them that crossed over from the other side, but there's absolutely no effort made. So finally we decided, the government decided, it had to send a very strong message. And this is why on the 7th of May, India struck 9 terrorists. So I just wanted to say that we chose targets very carefully where every one of them was clearly and explicitly linked to, or the base of, or the training camp of one of these proscribed organizations. Second, we took great care to do so at night, 1:05 to 1:30 in the morning, to minimize any risk of collateral damage, civilians and so on. Normal life was, everyone should be asleep at that time. And then we also explicitly avoided any Pakistani government target, any civilian target, and any military target. So the whole idea was to signal we are not trying to start a war, we are just conducting retribution for an act of terror, which was a really vile act. 26 people killed. They singled out the men on the basis of their religion. They shot them dead in front of their wives and children. It was really horrendous. And it was meant, of course, to do the maximum possible damage to India, to disrupt the Kashmiri economy, which was booming, to end the prospects of tourism flourishing in Kashmir. Tourism had gone up by 100% in the preceding 12 months, to also perhaps create a communal backlash in India, because these people said, you know, are you Hindu? Bang. Can you recite the first verse of the Quran? Then we spare you. And in fact, they spared one man because he could recite. And this was clearly intended to send the message, it is our religion that is killing you. And so the hope was that there would be a backlash back in India. And the Indian people, thank God, had the maturity. You understand these phenomena so well. I don't want to preach to somebody as knowledgeable as you are. But this is a particularly troubling matter because it is about the use of terrorism as an instrument of state policy. You know, when we struck those terror bases on the 7th, as I said, every one of those bases identified linked to terror. Next morning, there is a funeral at one of the sites, conducted by a person who's also named in the committee, Hafiz Abdul Rauf, who's an elite figure named in the United Nations Sanctions Committee. He is conducting the funeral, and look who's attending. Uniformed officers of the police and military of Pakistan. These are all military officers, and there are a couple of police people, senior officials. This is what is going on in Pakistan. This organization, the LET, has created this front called the Resistance Front, so-called. We have been reporting about the Resistance Front to the UN Sanctions Committee time after time. 3 times we've already given details. They claimed credit for the terrorist killings. The next day they repeated that claim. And then when people realized the gravity of it, their handlers in Pakistan got them to delete the claim. But the claim is on record for a full 24 hours. And what is deeply disquieting is when India encouraged our friends on the Security Council to mention the Resistance Front in the press statement that the Security Council issued, the Pakistan government, I'm sorry to say with the support of your friends in China, took out the name. So there is not even a reference to the organization.
We have many friends.
Yes, yes, of course, and we are also your friends. But we are not on the council. These guys are, and neither are you these days, which is our loss. We have to change that situation, sir. Both of us should be on the council together on a more durable basis. But initially, And I want to say once again, if Pakistan had not chosen to expand the conflict, we would not have hit Pakistani military facilities. Our message is consistent. We are not looking for war. We are looking only to send a message to terrorists. But through them, we want a message to be heard by those who are providing them safe haven, by those who are financing them, training them, equipping them, guiding them, and sending them across the border. And those are people in Pakistan in very, quote-unquote, responsible positions who are doing this. Whether they're under the control of the civilian government is another matter. We will not speculate on that. But they are still happening. They are still coming from that country. And that country, if it's not willing to curb them, will have to face the consequences. That is precisely where we are, Silso, and I seek your understanding for this.